Healthy soil is alive and nothing signals thriving soil life more than earthworms moving just beneath the surface. These little soil engineers are every gardener's best ally. They loosen compacted ground, recycle organic matter into rich humus, and create natural tunnels that let roots breathe and drink water more efficiently. If you've ever dug into a bed and found a wriggling handful of earthworms, you already know you're on the right track. But what if I told you there are specific crops you can grow that naturally draw more of them in? That's right. Certain plants encourage earthworms by supplying exactly what they crave: organic matter, steady moisture, and shade for protection. Instead of relying solely on compost or amendments, you can grow earthworm-friendly crops that turn your soil into a living, fertile ecosystem. Let's dive into the top 10 crops that will make your soil irresistible to worms, while, boosting your harvest at the same time. Few plants transform the ground as efficiently as clover. Not only does it fix nitrogen, but it also produces fine, fibrous roots that earthworms love to feast on. The dense canopy of clover also shades the soil surface, keeping it cool and moist, which is critical because worms retreat when soils get hot and dry. If you're looking for a cover crop that doubles as a worm magnet, clover is the first to plant. Alfalfa isn't just good livestock forage, it's an earthworm's dream crop. Its taproot system dives deep, breaking up hardpan and improving soil structure, while its leaves contribute nutrient-rich organic matter. Gardeners often brew alfalfa tea by mixing 1 cup of alfalfa pellets into 5 gallons of water, then drenching the soil to speed worm activity. This crop quite literally feeds your underground workforce. Summer squash, pumpkins, and gourds all produce large, sprawling leaves that cover bare ground. This natural living mulch reduces evaporation, keeping soil moist enough for worms to thrive near the surface where they work best. As the season progresses, the vines and spent leaves collapse into the soil, adding bulk organic matter. Worms respond almost immediately, clustering beneath these decomposing residues. For worm-rich soil, think big leafy crops like squash that provide both food and shelter. Beans, whether bush or pole varieties, are masters at enriching soil. Their nitrogen-fixing ability encourages vigorous plant growth, while their decaying roots become soft, protein-rich matter worms eagerly consume. By feeding both soil microbes and worms, beans help create a balanced ecosystem underground, which means, more nutrient cycling for your next crop. Though corn roots are not as soft as beans, their tall, thick stalks provide worms with long-term cover. After harvest, chopped corn stalks slowly decompose, releasing a steady trickle of organic carbon. Worms move in to process the residues, leaving behind nutrient-rich castings. To maximize results, chop stalks into small pieces and water them well so they break down faster. You'll find earthworms sheltering in the moist stalk debris even months later. Lettuce is not only a refreshing salad crop but also one of the easiest ways to feed worms. Its shallow roots decay quickly, and any outer leaves or thinnings you leave behind become soft material worms devour almost overnight. Because lettuce thrives in cooler, moist soils, the same environment worms prefer, growing lettuce ensures that worms stay active right where you want them, in the top few inches of soil where plant roots grow. Carrots may not seem like an obvious worm attractor, but their long, tapering roots play an important role. As carrots are harvested or left to break down, their hollow root channels become natural worm passageways. The residual organic matter also supports microbial growth, which in turn draws worms to the area. Gardeners often notice that after pulling carrots, earthworm numbers increase around those loosened soil pockets. Oats are often used as a quick cover crop because they germinate rapidly and produce a thick blanket of foliage. As they die back, their residues are soft and nutrient-rich, providing the perfect worm food. When chopped and incorporated, oat roots release sugars and starches that feed beneficial microbes, attracting even more worms. If you want to supercharge worm activity in fall or spring, oats are one of the simplest solutions. Few gardens are complete without tomatoes, and luckily for us, they're also worm-friendly. The sprawling vines, leaf litter, and spent roots all decompose into rich organic matter. Tomatoes also tend to be mulched heavily to conserve moisture, and that consistent dampness keeps worms happy. Once the season is over, chopping up tomato stems and leaving them on the soil encourages worms to recycle every bit of it back into humus. Like beans, peas are part of the legume family, and their roots carry nitrogen-fixing nodules that enrich the soil. When the plants are turned under after harvest, the roots and vines break down quickly, feeding worms with tender organic matter. The shallow root systems also improve topsoil crumb structure, creating the loose conditions worms prefer. If you want early spring worm activity, peas are an ideal crop to grow. Earthworms don't just appear by chance. They are drawn to gardens that provide constant food, steady moisture, and shelter from the sun. By planting crops like clover, alfalfa, beans, squash, oats, lettuce, corn, peas, carrots, and tomatoes, you're essentially inviting these natural tillers to set up permanent residence in your soil. The result is a self-sustaining cycle where plants feed worms, and worms, in turn, feed the plants by enriching the soil with castings and aeration. If you've been struggling with compacted soil or lackluster harvests, start thinking of earthworms as silent partners in your gardening journey. Choose the right crops, keep the soil consistently moist, and avoid harsh chemicals that drive worms away. Soon, every scoop of soil will reveal the secret workers transforming your garden from the ground up. If this guide has given you fresh ideas to bring more life into your soil, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this with fellow gardeners. Together we can keep our gardens thriving, one worm at a time.